On Christmas Eve in 1945, the Sodder home in Fayetteville, West Virginia went up in flames. George and Jennie Sodder, along with 4 of their 9 children, escaped the inferno, but 5 of their children were never found. Maurice, Martha, Louis, Betty, and Jennie Jr. vanished and were never seen again. The surviving family never stopped believing that their children survived, and decades of strange events, mysterious letters, and unanswered questions have only served to deepen the mystery. Thanks for tuning in to DeepCrime, where the mysteries are mysterious, the truths are chilling, and the investigations will leave you on the edge of your seat. I'm Nick, and here we dive into the cases that haunt history, disappearances that defy explanation, crimes that still leave investigators scratching their head all these years later. So, if you like that kind of thing, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, because that's pretty much all we do here. Back to the case. George Sodder, born Giorgio Sodder in Sardinia, Italy, immigrated to the United States at the age 13. He eventually settled in West Virginia, where he married Jennie Cipriani in 1922. The couple had 10 children and quickly became one of the most respected middle-class families in the area. You see, George ran a successful trucking business, but his outspoken opposition to then-dictator Benito Mussolini created issues with the local Italian-American community. This will be relevant later. Life for the Sodders was a mix of hard work and family devotion. By 1945, their youngest child, Sylvia, was just 3 years old, while their eldest, Joe, was away serving in World War II. The family's days were filled with the routines of school, chores, and the excitement of the approaching holidays. On the evening of December 24th, the Sodders celebrated as any other family would, with gifts and family traditions. The younger children begged to stay up late, and Jennie allowed them a little extra time, making sure the older boys remembered to tend to the animals before bed. Around 10 p.m., the house settled into a quiet rhythm of a normal family night. At 12:30 a.m., Jennie was awakened by a phone call from an unknown woman asking for a name she did not recognize. After the brief strange interaction, Jennie returned to bed, noticing that the lights were still on and the curtains undrawn. This was unusual for the children who were supposed to be asleep. By 1 a.m., a loud thump on the roof startled Jennie, followed by rolling noises. Only half an hour later, she started to smell smoke, and when she checked George's office, she saw flames erupting from the phone line and the fuse box. Jennie woke George, and together with their older children, they attempted to alert the rest of the family. However, the stairway to the attic where the missing children slept was already engulfed in flames. The Sodders' efforts to save their children was thwarted by a series of the most unusual obstacles. The ladder was missing, the water barrel was frozen solid, and George's truck failed to start. Frustrated and terrified, they could only watch as the fire consumed their family home over 45 minutes. Meanwhile, phone lines were down, delaying the fire department's response even further. By the time the firefighters arrived, it was too late to rescue the missing children. Officially, the fire was ruled an accident, allegedly caused by faulty wiring. Death certificates were issued for the 5 children, though the Sodders never attended a funeral. Even decades later, George and Jennie doubt the conclusion. The ladder was found 75 feet from the house, and some reported evidence that the phone line may have been deliberately cut. Appliances remained recognizable in the ashes, suggesting the fire may not have been hot enough to fully consume human bodies. The family's suspicions were fueled by a series of strange incidents. A visitor had warned George that his house would, quote, go up in smoke due to his criticism of Mussolini. Another stranger had examined the fuse boxes days before the fire, and some witnesses even reported seeing the missing children peering from a car near the burning house. They even found a small rubber ball resembling a grenade near the site, which raised even further questions about arson. Understandably, the Sodders refused to give up. They even hired a private investigator by the name C.C. Tinsley to conduct their own private investigation of the property. Artifacts such as a dictionary and coins were found, along with some bone fragments that were later determined not to be from the missing children. Flyers, billboards, and a $5,000 reward, later doubled, were offered to anyone with information. Sightings of the children continued over the years, including reports from hotel staff and alleged acquaintances in other states. Theories about the missing children ranged from accident to abduction. Some even believed that the Sicilian mafia may have kidnapped them in retaliation for George's anti-Mussolini remarks. Others suspected a domestic or local crime. Despite inquiries to the FBI and state authorities, no definitive answers emerged. George and Jennie remained convinced that their children had survived. The Sodder home was never rebuilt. Instead, they decided to create a memorial garden in dedication to their missing children. Billboards featuring the children remained along the highway for decades. The surviving family members and descendants continued to publicize the case well into the 21st century. Yet, more than 75 years later, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Betty, and Jennie Jr. remain missing, and the mystery endures. The Sodder family case is a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of hope. 5 children vanished in a single night that will haunt the generations. Was it an accident, or was it something far more sinister? While we may never know the full story, one thing is for certain. The Sodders' relentless search for their children ensures that their memory will never be forgotten. If you have a theory about what happened to the Sodder children, be sure to leave it in the comments. For more chilling true crime mysteries, be sure to explore the rest of the DeepCrime channel. We have many. And in the meantime, stay curious, stay vigilant, and always stay with DeepCrime. I'll see you guys next time.